Today on episode 165 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, a new team builder, Whatcha Watchin, Foursome, TCF Top 3 of Fair Foods. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 165 of Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. You can find us on Twitter at typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram as well. Just type in Typical Chicago Fans, give those pages a like. For all of our content on video form, go to YouTube and subscribe to the page there. Wherever you get your podcast, we are also there. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get them. You can find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF, and of course, Zach at ZLiliaTCF. Maddie is still on vacation this week. He is a globe-trotting man. Hopefully have Maddie back next week. We definitely miss Maddie. He tells me he's spending all of his time preparing for the upcoming Blackhawks season. So he's deep in the research right now. So, Zach, summer's dwindling down. It doesn't feel like summer, man. It feels like fall's going to come maybe a little early this year.
Well, we got a ton of rain around where we live today. So much that the roads were not flooding per se, but there was a lot of water going down them. And then like a half mile down the road, there was no rain. It just doesn't really make much sense. We were like right on the border of a bunch of rain the last few days, but it cooled it down a lot, and I love that. You can't beat this weather right now, other than it's starting to get dark earlier, which is making me sad. But other than that, it's been beautiful. We really can't beat it. It's been humid per se, but not like horribly hot.
Yeah, that's definitely the case, because I mean, I played golf today. I played 18 this morning, and maybe a little sweat here and there, but not like you would expect on August 10th. And I don't know about you, but I'm not used to my yard being this green in early August. So I'm definitely mowing. I didn't mow hardly at all in June, but we've been making up for it here lately. So kind of leads me right into my sinker with Sinkers and Floaters. My sinker is summer, and more specifically because I go back to work next week. Wednesday, go back to work. I'll be honest, I'm always usually about this time ready to go back to school and get the ball rolling. But I know I've talked about it before. I've been home with my son for like the last 6-7 weeks every day. So he starts daycare on Monday. So I'm a little, I don't know, man. I'm not handling it as well as I'd like to think I was. But when you spend, 8-9 hours with someone for 6-7 weeks, and I'm doing okay, but Monday is not going to go well for me, I don't think.
No, it's like totally different than before, where you sat around, but you just had nothing to do. Yeah. Now you've been doing stuff, and you've been hanging out with the baby, and you've gotten so into a routine that you're not really used to doing in the summertime, because you're usually keeping yourself busy doing other stuff. But I understand that you're taking him to daycare like 2 days before.
Yeah, so I go back to work Wednesday.
He the hardest day for you.
Dude, I've got it planned out already. So Monday we drop him off at like 8:00. And he lives right down he's going to daycare right down the road.
You, I think.
That's not even funny. That's going to make me cry. No, his daycare is literally down the road from the golf course. So we're going to drop him off, and then I am going directly to the golf course. And then I'm going to come home. I'm going to eat a little lunch, and then I'm going to go to the gym and probably spend way more time there than I should, just so I don't sit around and do absolutely nothing. So, but yeah, dude, and it's weird because like, this will be like the only summer that it's like this, right? Because after they start daycare, you can't just pull them out for 3 months and keep their spot. That's just not how daycare works. So like even next summer, like he might not be going as much, but he'll still be going to daycare. So yeah, I'm prepared to cry like a baby on Monday, but it's all a part of the process,
Means you care.
Exactly, dude. It's been awesome. It's been like the best 7 weeks ever. Like I've talked about this before, but he's such a good sleeper. We sleep in a little bit, he eats. I watch Get Up, and then we watch movies and hang out and play all day. So cannot complain too much, man.
Unfortunately, you gotta go back to work.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I get to go to work and play games and teach PE all day. So it's not the worst. It's not the end of the world.
My sinker is what probably a lot of people's sinker is, and that is mosquitoes.
So
With golfing later and it being like it gets wet later at night, the grass, it just I feel like I've been getting eaten up by mosquitoes.
I should go knock on some wood back here because I don't think I've gotten more than maybe like 2 or 3 mosquito bites all summer.
But you've been lucky enough. Usually when you golf in the morning or like earlier afternoon. It's that golfing around 7 or 8 this time of year, and it like I say it gets dark and it's wet, and then it just and then the next day you're just itching and itching. It's just
Yeah. I got one on my foot and it just rubs all day. I'm really liking this summer because I haven't been outside that much. No terrible mosquito bites to complain about. But yeah, this is especially like you said with how rainy it's been and all that stuff. It not the best time of year for that. I'll jump into my floater, and my floater is pizza because as of right now, we're recording. I have had pizza for my last 3 meals. So
this man had fried pickle pizza.
All right, let me run it down here real quick. Wednesday night, me and the wife had to go get some groceries, so we got a take and bake from Walmart, put that in the oven, ate that, didn't eat breakfast today. For lunch, I got a pickle pizza from Downtown Pub in Princeton, more like a pickle flatbread, I guess. And then for dinner tonight, we went to Legrato's, and I got the fried pickle pizza there. But also, with that being said, my 4th meal in a row is probably going to be pizza because I'm probably going to have leftover pizza for lunch tomorrow. So I'm going for 4 in a row tomorrow.
Yeah, we had pizza tonight at Legrato's.
But also, like, I feel like pizza is one of those things, like, I've had it 3 in a row, and I'm not sick of pizza.
Well, you can get so many different kinds of pizza, too.
Yep, exactly. So,
but yeah, I had the Hawaiian pizza. You had the, what was it again?
Fried pickle pizza.
Yeah, and it's exactly what you think. It was just pieces of fried pickles on top of his pizza, and he said it was good.
It was good. And my wife got the taco pizza, which is also, we've had that before. I mean, can't go wrong. Lots of variations. So I know I'm kind of indulging this week because I know next week when I go back to work is when I eat my salads for lunch every day and my protein bar and eat a little bit healthier. So I'm really porking out here the last week of summer break.
My floater is what everyone is probably doing this week or next week, and that's fantasy football drafts. Everybody's doing them, unless you're like in a dynasty where you just do like rookie drafts and stuff like that. But fantasy football, it seems like if you're just a casual fantasy sports player, you're probably going to do fantasy football. So there's so many people that I know that would be like, I didn't think you do fantasy football, and they do. So and into drafts are all times of the day. We have one where like you get like 10 hours to make your pick.
Yeah.
So it's kind of runs over a few days or whatever. But yeah, everyone's doing a fantasy football draft.
I was just in one of my leagues, and I think they put I want to say a 6 or a 12-hour clock on it, and it took like 10 days. So, but it's fun.
We'll
it's the
see
best
how long
time.
The one we have will take. I think it's going to take a while.
Yeah, it is because it's a complete redraft. So
especially the later rounds, like at the end, it's just so hard to get people attention for that.
Yeah, exactly, because all the big names are gone and all that.
But I love it. I love a good fantasy football draft. It's always fun.
And I have committed. I will be doing. So I did. I'm in fantasy baseball right now. I'm in a random league on ESPN. But I have also. I've also decided that I am going to do fantasy basketball and fantasy hockey this year. So I don't know how that's going to go because I know nothing about hockey.
Have fun with that.
Yep. We'll see. We did a fantasy basketball league a couple years ago. That was pretty fun.
Fantasy basketball, I wouldn't mind. It's the fantasy hockey. I would have no idea.
It's going to force me to pay attention. So that's why I'm all in on that. But speaking of sports, not just fantasy sports, real sports, let's jump into the TCF Sports Minute. We got the Cubbies on Thursday, day off. Cubs and the Sox are off on Thursday. 16 in a row, and I don't know about you, but I needed a day off of the Cubs. But
most people will tomorrow also, or today when you're hearing this, because on
yeah.
Apple TV, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that's so annoying. But 59 and 56, 2.5 games out of the division, a half game out of the wild card right now. Kind of tough when you drop 2 or 3 to the Mets. I'll be honest, dude. Why in the world, after the first night, are they throwing anything near the strike zone to Pete Alonso?
I have no idea.
Pete Alonso beat the Cubs. The New York Mets didn't beat the Cubs. Pete Alonso beat the Cubs. They had like 15 runs in the series, and 12 of them were contributed to Pete Alonso.
Yeah, I don't know why
Stop
you just walk them.
Yes, put him on. The Mets stink, and they're pitching to the best player on their team. What do you have? 3 home runs in 3 games, 4 home runs in 3, something like that.
My biggest takeaway from that game was, why did they bunt? I understand you want to move the runners over, no outs, first and second. You get the guys second and third, 1 out. All you need is a pop up, but you're wasting an out there. And Madrigal, who doesn't really strike out at a high rate, not saying he couldn't turn into a double play, but I just don't understand that. I understand, but it's professional baseball.
I am just anti-bunting, period. I think that's such an archaic.
Wasting an out.
Yeah. And especially like Madrigal, who's a pretty fast runner, right? Like even if Nick Madrigal hits a ground ball, like there's still a chance he beats it out, right? And Nick Madrigal isn't the worst. I mean, he's not the best hitter, but like he's a professional baseball player. Like give him the opportunity to put the ball in play. Yeah, I don't quite get that.
I understand they had a chance with bases loaded. Ian Happ was up. But it's just to waste that 1 out. It just sucks.
And I think the biggest part of it, Zach, is I think it burns a little bit more because we know how bad the Mets are, right? Like they shouldn't. This is as hot as the Cubs have been, for them to lose a series to the New York Mets. That can't happen. It's simple. The Mets are not good.
I know I'm not a coach or whatever, but Yan Gomes has been playing so well. I think that's a spot where you could have pinch hit him.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there either.
I know Morel's been playing great, but he's gonna swing in a lot.
Yeah. I do like what the Cubs did in shuffling up the rotation, taking Drew Smyly and putting him in the bullpen.
You cannot keep going with that.
I mean, I'm not the biggest David Ross as a manager fan, but also in the same breath, like I don't think a manager is as
try something.
Yeah, and I give him props. Like I give him props. Like it took cojones in the middle of a pennant race to mix things up and send Drew Smyly, because most teams would just let it ride out, right? You see that all the time. You just kind of, maybe this guy will figure it out. They bump him to the bullpen, and let's see what happens. Give a guy like Assad a shot, and I think he's starting today,
Friday against the Blue Jays, which is huge, and it just shows you that they have a lot of trust in him.
But I think at the end of the day, the Cubs' success and the Cubs having any chance to get into the playoffs is Marcus Stroman.
Well, yeah, but it's just starting pitching in general. It can't be just Justin Steele.
Yes, exactly.
The bullpen has shown that it can keep you in games, but you got to get into the 7th inning.
But also, like, that worries you because, like, the deeper into the season you get, the more miles you're just racking up on those arms in the bullpen. Like, they've been really good for a month, but, like, what's going to happen when they're having to bail the starting rotation out for the next 6 weeks?
But what did you say? The next, 10 days, the Cubs have 3 off days?
Yeah, which they need.
Huge.
Yes. They need. The bullpen is going to need. I mean, I think Adbert Alzolay is a legitimate closer in the National League right now. Like, it was kind of, at the beginning of the season, it was, hit or miss, using him or Fulmer. But I really like using Alzolay in the 9th. But, you're going to keep taxing these arms if guys like Kyle Hendricks keep getting, beaten like he stole something, and you got to burn these arms early. And I like, some of the acquisitions they made with the QS kid and, even Merriweather coming out now and throwing gas. I mean, they're in a good spot, but like you've got to, Fulmer's been really Leiter's been really good.
Better. It's like the bullpen is there, but you got to get it to them. You can't get it only to the 4th inning or the 5th inning. You got to get to that 7th inning to help them out.
Well, lately they've kind of been the cardiac Cubs, right? Not getting wins till late in games, and like, yeah, it's fun to watch when it's now, but like when you think about, you
Playoff
can't rely
baseball.
on that. You can't rely on that, for forever. So
Half game out in the wild card, 2.5 in the division. The Brewers didn't play today either. But the Brewers, I think who are they playing next? It didn't seem like somebody.
the Brewers, let me look. I'm not sure. On the other side of town, though, the White Sox still stink. So, the White Sox. Well, that
Oh, they play the White
answers
Sox.
that
Yes,
question.
that's who I
Yeah,
thought.
they play the White Sox. So
In Chicago. So,
and
you know what? I'm going to be
the
a White
White
Sox
Sox.
fan this weekend.
Yeah, this might. I've got a couple White Sox hats. I might have to bust a couple of them out.
They've been
But
playing
yeah, White
better.
Sox.
They went on a 3-game win streak.
Yeah, after the fisticuffs, but they're 47-69, 13 games out of the Central,
Why you
18 games out of the
never
wild card.
get into a fight ever because you're one punch away from hitting the ground.
Dude, okay, so we got to talk about that. That was actually like a legit baseball fight. That was like, you don't see
Yeah, I hate
like
when
I
it's
think
just
they
like
talked.
everyone runs out and nothing happens.
It's all of hold me back. Baseball is the biggest hold me back sport in the world. But that was a legit fight, and unfortunately, Tim Anderson got 6 games and kind of got his ass knocked out. But you know what? I don't think things could get worse for Tim Anderson. Obviously, his struggles at the plate and off the field, and but I think this just goes to show the complete dysfunction of the White Sox, right? And then there's
Well, then the big story
rumors
came
coming
out.
out.
Yeah. All the stuff about how dysfunctional the locker room is and players not getting along. Tim Anderson having a locker room away from everybody else when they're at home. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be very good in Chicago. I mean, it doesn't
And
seem
I know
like anyone's getting
he's
along.
he's not the only one, but Lance Lynn coming out and saying that Lance Lynn has been a red ass since the minute he walked into the major league. I don't take much that Lance Lynn has to say, with more than a grain of salt, because I just I'm not a Lance Lynn guy. I've heard, lots of things about, him being, toxic in a locker room and all this stuff. When there's multiple people coming out and saying different things, but what are you gonna do? You're in, like, I almost like feel bad for
You
White Sox
traded
fans.
away everything, and then the players that you have now, I don't think anyone wants.
Hate each other. Yeah, like where do you go from here? Do you just let everybody walk that is up on a contract and just, I mean, it sucks because then you're looking at like 27, 28 when you're competitive again. Because we all know the White Sox aren't going to go out and hit the free agency market. They've never done it. Why would they start now when they're awful? And it's not like their farm system is anything to write home about, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of just at a loss for words with the White Sox. It's just it's
They're in the
sad.
worst situation possible right now.
Yeah, because like you could be able to look at it and say, oh, they've got, a good farm system, so that they just got to wait for these guys. But they have a terrible farm system. They're a bottom 10 farm system, and they don't have guys waiting at AAA like they did, 2-3 years ago.
And from the
It's
sounds
a
of it,
tough
they
spot.
don't really have any leaders left on this team.
No, it's bad. I don't know if Griffel gets a second year, but at the end of the day, if they're not going to be competitive, you can't go out and fire and hire a new coach every single year.
What does that matter at this point?
At this point, just bring, Ricky Renteria back, or was it? Yeah, Ricky Renteria. Just let him coach the team. He's a placeholder. Ricky will be there.
I feel bad for White Sox fans, honestly, because it just keeps getting worse and worse.
I don't know if I go that far, but I'm getting closer than I've ever felt for White Sox fans, because it is. I mean, we throw this term around a lot about like the Bulls, but like this is baseball purgatory, right? You strip the organization down and you really don't have much to show for it, and you have an owner who's just a moron. So where do you go from here? You got good food at your ballpark, it's a nice ballpark, so at least you got
Hopefully they
that.
beat the Brewers this weekend. That's all we can
Yeah.
ask for.
Yep. Yeah, we're definitely cheering for the Southsiders this weekend. Anything else on the White Sox there, Big Z?
No.
Moving in to Bears talk, we are getting closer and closer to the regular season. Preseason game number 1 on Saturday versus the Tennessee Titans. What do you want to see going in? Do you care about the preseason games at all?
Not really. I don't really know who's going to play. There's only 3 games now. I'm really not too worried about the preseason. Just, I guess, let them play a little bit. Don't sit them for the whole time. But no, I just don't want to see anyone get hurt, honestly.
Yeah. Especially like with a quarterback like Justin Fields, you don't want to throw him out there and then end up with, some stupid, tweak, even in not even talking an injury, maybe even just like, a tweak or a pull in a game that means absolutely nothing. Yeah. But in this, to be the devil's advocate, you want him and Moore to get that time together. Obviously, he didn't have a ton of time with Claypool last year.
If he plays, let him go out there for 1 or 2 times, see what happens, and then get out of there.
Obviously, neither of us are NFL coaches, but I think both of our theories is that you play him, a couple series in the first game, then maybe a quarter in the second game, and then maybe a half to 3/4 in the. That's the way I look at it. Like warm him up, get him used to playing more and more time, and then he's ready to go for week 1. But I think you kind of just have to take that. But like in the same breath, if it was Aaron Rodgers, I'm not letting him take a single snap. You know what I mean? Or Tom Brady, or
though.
Yeah, exactly. But. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll be honest, man. I could care less about NFL preseason.
It just means football is right around the corner.
That is true. And our last spot of the TCF Sports Minute, we have some NCAA news to talk about. Conference realignment, dude. Where do you stand on this? Because this is just chaos, right? The Pac-12 is dead. The Big Ten and the SEC are eventually going to be 20 teams. The Big 12 is going to be 20 teams. I mean,
what I'm confused mostly about is like why. I guess just because there's so much money involved in it. Yeah, money. But like,
it's the only reason, my friend.
You're just going to play better teams.
Yep. Well, I think
you want to play better teams, and maybe it helps you get to the playoff. But I don't know. Some of these teams, I think, are going to get a rude awakening when they go to these conferences.
So the way I look at it is like, I think it's good for college football, right? We're not gonna have to watch like Wisconsin play South Dakota State, right? Because they're going to play 10
different teams playing each other. But more of like you're not going to see the same teams play every single year.
Yeah, and like I think for college football, I think it's one of those things that like in 10 years we're not going to think anything different of it. You know what I mean? Like when some conferences have realigned, like when Missouri and Texas A&M and went to the SEC.
Everyone's making it seem like it's going to start tomorrow. This has years down the line.
Exactly. And I think eventually it'll be kind of the norm. But obviously, I think we're going to see expanded of the the tournament at the end, the football championship series or whatever they call it now. Yeah, the playoff. You're going to see that expanded to 12. But like what I worry about as someone who worked for a women's basketball team of a G5 school, like when all is settled and done, like Rutgers women's volleyball team is going to have to fly to like Spokane, Washington.
That's the problem. Like football, basketball is whatever, but then there's other sports that are going to have to play in the same conference.
Yeah. And like, I mean, you're already going to see, UCLA and Maryland play in women's basketball. Like that's insane. You almost like want to say, hey, meet us in Kansas City. We'll meet you halfway. Like that is it's a 3,000 mile trip.
Maybe like go to a neutral site in between, but they can't do that forever.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like, obviously the money is what's going to drive all of it because of TV deals and playoffs and all that stuff. But I also think that it's one of those things that in 10 years, we're going to be like, hey, this is kind of cool. We get to watch, Indiana and Oregon men's basketball, in a game that means something. Obviously right now you're like Indiana, Oregon, who cares? But like, you don't know those years that you're going to see, an Oregon team that goes to a Final Four and an Indiana team that's in an Elite Eight, or whatever the case may be. I'm okay with that. And football, I think it is weird because we're not gonna get those like Appalachian State, Michigan upsets anymore. You know, when NIU went down and beat Alabama in 2003, you're not gonna get that because you can't schedule non-conference games when you have 11 teams on your side of the conference. You might get one
But that could
non-conference.
also be what people don't like about it either. They want them to play teams outside their conference.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I like, but also at the same time, like you're going to tell me for 12 straight weeks, I got to watch, Florida play like meaningful, like good teams and not, go beat up on Chattanooga State. Like I'm okay with that.
Also,
Obviously,
with this time of year, I think it's perfect for this conversation, though.
Not a whole lot going on.
No, right before football starts, because once college football starts back up, no one's going to talk about this.
Yeah, it'll be like the headline on all the games, and then once the football actually
2 years
starts,
from now, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I forgot that was going to happen."
Yeah. Yep. I think that's probably right. But we have to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. They've got the best coffee around that you are going to find. They work with our guy John Frederick.
If you're in the Ian Happ thing, it's Ian Happ's birthday weekend. So
shout out to our guy Ian Happ.
They're gonna
go listen to that interview.
Sales for the special VIP. I think was the Home Run Bucks,
the Home Run Club.
Yep. So
Dinger Dollars.
Yep. So happy birthday, Ian Happ.
Yeah, go watch that interview, folks. That was a great time. I missed that was a fun episode we got to do with Ian Happ. But he loves it. Dom loves it. He's a Gold Glove outfielder, and that's how he starts every morning. You should probably get some too. So go to connectroasters.com. Follow them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. Like Zach said, big sale going on. Join the Home Run Club. Get you some Dinger Dollars, and go get you some of the best coffee around that you can possibly put into your body. So a big shout out to the best sponsor in the world, Connect Roasters Coffee. Let's jump into some segments here, Zach. Starting off, we've got Team Builder. So we are building, I don't know if you watched much ESPN this week, but it was ESPN 8, the Ocho, with all the weird, wacky sports. So we are building a perfect kickball team. We've got $15. Obviously, the tiers 5 through 1. Go to YouTube right now, watch it there. So I'll explain it real quick. The $5 row is Saquon Barkley, Lionel Messi, Alex Morgan, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Sophia Smith. The $4 row is Coco Gauff, Dwayne Johnson, Kylian Mbappe, Trinity Rodman, and Aja Wilson. The $3 row, Steven Adams, Caitlin Clark, Shohei Ohtani, Sha'Carri Richardson, and Justin Tucker. The $2 row is Giannis, Mookie Betts, Katie Ledecky, Connor McDavid, and Michaela Schifrin. And the $1 row, John Cena, Zach Edey, Max Holloway, Francis Tiafoe, and Max Verstappen. So, Zach, do you want to go first and build your dream kickball team for $15, or do you want me to?
I'll go first.
All right.
I'm going to start off with an easy one, Messi. I mean, that guy is going to kick the ball to outer space.
And put it wherever you want. Like, if you don't want a home run, he's good enough to rope one down the line and pick up a two-bagger.
I'm going to go with $3. I'm going Steven Adams. I mean, that guy is so big. That ball's got to go somewhere.
All right. So you're at 8. I like that. There's a lot of leg strength there. That New Zealand, he's like 7 foot, so he's got to have some leg strength there.
And then for $2, I'm going Connor McDavid. I feel like a lot of those guys are like good at soccer. A lot of hockey players are good at soccer.
That's a good point.
Maybe he has, to skate, you got to have pretty good leg strength. So
I like that. So you're at 12.
7? Oh, 12. No.
Yep.
5, 3, 2. So I'm at 10.
10. We were both wrong. Not math guys.
No.
So you got $5 left.
I'm gonna go with The Rock. I mean, The Rock's got to be able just to absolutely punt a ball.
And you get the intimidation factor, right? You roll up with The Rock. I mean, you really don't need a whole more.
$1. I'm going Max Holloway. I mean, that guy's leg strength, the way those guys kick. Are you kidding me? Those guys train by these like kicking a pole.
And I mean, the stamina's there. I mean, you don't even have to kick it out of the park, you can just put it in the corner, and that's an inside the parker.
I think that's a pretty good team right there. I got Lionel Messi, The Rock, Steven Adams, Connor McDavid, and Max Holloway.
Yeah, I think I'm going to beat you here, though. I'm going to go. I'm going to go with Ronaldo. I was going to take Messi, but I didn't want two Messis. I do think Messi's better. I'm more of a Messi guy than a Ronaldo guy. But then I'm going to go. I'm going to go Shohei Ohtani at $3 because obviously he knows his way around a baseball field.
So how can he has to be good at this?
I'll put him on the mound. He'll be my big hitter. And then for $2, I'm going Giannis, and I'll explain why. Giannis has like the most freakish wingspan. I can put him at shortstop. He can play third, short, and second all in one position, right? So I like him up the middle. I could probably stand him right behind second and cover everything we need. So let's see. I am at $8. I'm at $10. I might just load up here. I will also then go Kylian Mbappe. I think Mbappe is he might be better than Ronaldo. I like Mbappe a lot.
I thought we'd be nice here, not take two soccer players.
Well, I must have missed that in the fine print. But so that puts me at $12, right? 5, 9,
10,
12. 14. So I'll also take John Cena because I think John Cena is a funny guy and I need some comedic relief there.
I don't think he's very funny.
And have you seen him on Pardon My Take? He's very funny.
I guess.
I like John Cena. I'm a big John Cena fan. And, you talk about intimidation factor. You get John Cena with the muscles popping and the wristbands on his biceps. Oh, it's over.
Yeah, people aren't afraid of Max Holloway. Come on.
I'd be willing to bet that way more people know who John Cena is than Max Holloway.
Duh, the guy who's in all the movies? Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. You see, and it's not like Max Holloway is a heavyweight.
When he shows
he
up.
weighs like 145 pounds.
And yeah, and he would kick you so hard.
I guess he got that sneak. But if you don't let me take Mbappe to not take two soccer players, I would go.
Honestly,
I would go Justin Tucker.
The guy who can kick a field goal from 55.
Or maybe even I don't hate Sha'Carri Richardson there because I would just have her bunt and then she'd be on third before you even knew what happened. So
true.
I don't think that's a bad pick either. So let us know what team you would make for your $15. Let's jump into a segment. We did a lot over COVID, and this is What You Watchin. I have been killing it in the movie and TV show category. Obviously, I said at the beginning of the show how much time I've spent at home with my son. Just in the last week, we have watched all the the first 5 Fast and Furious movies and the first 5 Rocky movies. But that's not on my list, so that just tells you kind of the pace we've been burning through things here at my house. So this could be a TV show, movie, YouTube series, whatever you've been watching, whatever you're watching to entertain yourself. So I've got a couple here in the TV realm because this is a sports podcast. The Untold series, the Untold sports documentaries on Netflix. I watched all those last week. Those were all pretty good. Wasn't a big fan of the Manti Te'o one, but I will recommend one. I did watch the Johnny Manziel one. I'm not a Johnny Manziel fan, but I did like that. There's one called A Deal with the Devil, and it is about like the first big, well-known female boxer and kind of this insane story that she went through. You need to watch that. Take the hour and 20 minutes. Watch Deal with the Devil to get yourself into the Untold series. And then also in that sports realm, there's another series on Netflix called Bad Sport. They're the ones that did the documentary on Tim Donaghy. And they've also got ones on like point shaving scandals in soccer and rugby and these other ones that I had no clue about. And they were all really, really good. So the Untold documentary series, as well as the Bad Sport. In the movie realm, I got 2 that I've watched this week. The Nice Guys, and that is Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. Really good movie. Just kind of randomly found it on Netflix. Very good movie. Can't recommend that enough. And then one my wife we kind of trade off. movies we're watching. This movie called Don't Worry, Darling, a little bit of a thriller, I guess you would kind of a sci-fi thriller. If you've ever seen like The Stepford Wives, it's kind of like that. So The Nice Guys and Don't Worry, Darling. So those are my 2 TV series and 2 movies that I got for you this week.
I have 3 just they're all YouTube shows because I'm big with YouTube nowadays, especially like at work. With being able to get out of YouTube and then still play, it's kind of nice to be able to watch certain stuff. The one I really watch every single day, I think Boomy does too, The Yak. It's on Barstool Sports. No, it's on The Yak YouTube now. And it is hilarious. It's Big Cat, Kate, Roan, Sass, KB, Nick, Brandon Walker, TJ. Who am I missing?
Stephen Shea.
I forgot about them. Yep. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's going to be moving to Chicago here in the next few weeks. And it's hilarious.
It's best.
It's there every day. It's there. It's for noon for us. And it's just something that they don't talk sports really. They just talk about random stuff, and it's hilarious because they're all hilarious.
Yeah, I'll say it's the best piece of daily content that Barstool puts out.
Mm-hmm. It's very funny. Now with Barstool Radio coming back too, that's always fun. If you like Barstool Sports and like the drama that goes on with it, Barstool Radio will be for you because that's how they bring everything back up. With Portnoy buying the company back for $1.
Yeah,
things kind of changed a lot overnight. Now that they are not with Penn, is it Penn Entertainment?
Penn National.
Yeah, Penn National. ESPN is now with them. So if you do have the Barstool Sports book app, it will eventually be ESPN whatever, which is going to be weird.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes.
Well, I mean, anything that DraftKings has ever done on ESPN will be gone.
Yeah.
Because they are now a competitor. My second show has nothing to do with sports. It's Victory Outdoor Services. It's YouTube with the guy who pretty much just goes out and does concrete work. And he just goes through the whole thing of putting it together, digging it up, and putting it down. And I think it's for me, like just sitting there and just watching it randomly, it's kind of like relaxing. You're not watching sports. You're not really watching. You're just watching a project start to finish.
I can't even laugh at you that much because I follow all these lawnmower guys and power washing guys on TikToks, and it's kind of similar to that. It's like the satisfaction.
Part of it is like even like you kind of get to know the crew that he has, and like it's just they're not far from here. It's up in Wisconsin, and they're entertaining to watch. But also, it's just cool to see like a project start to finish, something especially concrete, which I don't know if I could do that, but the finished product is pretty awesome. And like, it's just relaxing. You're not watching sports. You're not on like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. You kind of just sit there and watch some it really means it's like kind of nonsense in a way. There's like, you're not like really paying attention to it.
Mindless entertainment.
Fun to watch.
What'd you say the name of the page was again, Zach?
Victory Outdoor Services.
All right, I'm gonna have to check this out. I'm
I'll send you a video. I mean, you may not like enjoy it, but for me, it's just kind of relaxing. They're like 45-minute videos, and it shows you like doing their project. Sometimes they'll get a job done in one day, and you'll be like, "That's crazy to think." Like, you never really would think about like how a driveway is made.
Because like if you put 2 idiots like me and you together to put someone's driveway, we would be out there for 3 years.
Yeah, and they come in like 4 or 5 of them in 3 or 4 hours, can have like it all set up, and it's just interesting.
That's a good way to put it.
My last one is Boomy watches it too. The Mid Show, Chicago Mid Show. It's on Tuesday and Thursdays. I think one is live and one is not, or maybe neither of them are live anymore. But it's fun, especially if you like Chicago news. They'll talk about sports, or they talk about random stuff. Especially, like I said, if you like Barstool drama or whatever, they talk about that on there too. Especially with a lot of Barstool employees being moved to Chicago. It's going to be more interesting. A lot of different guests on there. So, like I said, I'm more on the YouTube side now. I don't really watch too many series, which I should get back into, but there's just so many.
Yeah, you just got to kind of pick one.
Also,
right?
you brought up the Untold one, Johnny Manziel, an hour long, which I think is absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
I think
I watched it yesterday morning. It was
too long.
You were a Johnny Manziel guy, so you'll like it. I thought it was okay.
Well, I just mean like some of these documentaries, 3 parts, 4 parts. It's like we can get this all done in one.
Oh, 100%. Don't disagree with you there, but yeah, I need to get a little bit deeper on my YouTube stuff because I'm way more in the TV
the nice
shows
thing about it, it's free if you really want to. I mean, you can do the premium, but they're all there for free.
That is true.
You know what also you can watch on YouTube? Typical Chicago fans.
That subscribe to the page.
We have a food review coming up where me and Boomy, we put our bodies on the line.
This is gonna be in like little peek behind the curtain. I'm uploading the video to my editing software right now, and it is just crashing my computer. So this one may be a little while. We've only done half of the review so far. You guys are really going to want to see this, but go watch our last one. We had it in the hopper for a long time. Obviously, April, my life got a little different, but we did release one last week on our friends at It's a Bodega did a Kit Kat box. So that review is out, but we have a huge, probably easily our longest food review will be coming out here in the next couple weeks. And Zach wasn't kidding. I had quite a tummy ache for quite a while. So that's what we've been watching here lately. Another thing we've been doing we've been playing a lot of golf, and we've got a new segment, and we're going to build our dream fantasy golf foursome. Who are the 3 guys plus 1 alternate or girls that you'd like to play golf with? Let's go ahead and do this kind of like a snake draft style, Zach, because we may have some similar ones. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to?
I'll go first.
Then I get to go first in the top 3.
That's fine.
Don't do it. I know who you're going to take.
Michael Jordan.
All right. I didn't know who you were going to take. That's a good pick. I hope you're ready to lose money, though.
Well, yeah, that's fine, but I just want to talk to him.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It would be a really good time. Be very competitive, too, which we like competitive golf. So
you go. Who did you think I was going to take?
John Daly.
Yeah, I guess that'd be fun.
That'd be so much fun. I would take John Daly over Michael Jordan. I don't know if I want it to be that competitive, but I would still very much
I don't have the money, so it wouldn't be that competitive anyways.
That's true, yeah. Oh, what do you want to play for $7 on this shot there, Mike? He's like, 200,000. Like, I'm in the wrong place. My second round pick. Oh man, I'm trying to think of people who would like be fun to play with, but also like can play golf and are like interesting to be around. I also don't want to take just all pro golfers. Paige Sporanic. I don't need to give an explanation here.
Good for you.
Bonk.
I'm going Charles Barkley. That would be him and Michael Jordan together. That would be so much fun.
Oh yeah, having those two just going at each other.
We could talk about like back in the day, the Dream Team. Oh,
yeah, that's a good pick.
You and get another like, one. They're good golfers, but they're not like professionals. So like it would still be fun.
I agree. That would be a fun group.
And I got one pick. More.
Yep. And then we'll
Bobby
do
Burger. Oh, I don't.
No, no. Go ahead, and then we'll do like an alternate. So it'll technically be 4 picks.
Yeah, I'm going Bobby Burger from Bob Does Sports. He's hilarious. I mean, he just seems like so much fun on the golf course. I mean, it would technically be all the Bob Does Sports guys, but I'll take Bobby.
So that means I can have Joey Cold Cuts, is what you're saying?
Yeah, there you go. Think about like the 8-some we could have.
Oh yeah, dude. So last year, I think I told this on my birthday, my principal at the school I teach at said, "Happy birthday to Harvey Cold Cuts." over the loudspeaker in the morning. So I wear my have a day hat all the time. But I won't take Joey Cold Cuts. That's too easy of a pick there. I want to go with another athlete. Man, that's tough. I think I'm gonna go with a guy. I don't even know if he plays golf, but I want to be around him. He's one of my favorite basketball players. Joakim Noah. I want to see if he can swing a golf club.
Yeah, but
He's
you want to make sure that they are pretty decent at golf, though, just in case. You don't want to go with somebody that you get mad about not being good.
But I don't think it doesn't matter because Joakim Noah doesn't seem like
true.
he gets mad about a whole lot. And then let's do an alternate just in case one of our top three has to drop out. I'll go Big Cat. I think Dan Big Cat would be so fun to play with and have fun. And like he's not very good, but I think that he would be super fun.
I'm trying to think. I think Max Homa would be awesome to golf with.
Oh, I was either say him or Brooks Koepka would be fun.
I think Max Homa would be more fun.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think either one. I think
Brooks would also be amazing to golf with, but I think you just had more fun with.
And also, like Brooks admitted that he gets bored with golf after like 13 holes.
I mean,
so.
I don't think he'd be really interested in that.
But I think it'd be a good time out there for those 13 holes. He's paying attention. So, but let's go ahead, wrap things up here in Mendota this weekend. We've got the ever famous Mendota Sweet Corn Fest. Roughly 60,000 people flooding into our town of 7,000 for free sweet corn and a great carnival. So we are. I think we've done this in the past
for some sweet corn.
So hand to God, I've lived in Mendota since I was 8 years old.
Never stood in that line.
Never once stood in that line. You can just get it for like $4 an ear at the Lions Club. Shout out the Lions Club. So we've got the TCF top three of fair food. I think this caused an argument last year when I took ribbon fries because you idiots don't like ribbon fries. But we'll go ahead and start here. I'll take the first pick. And I'm going to go what I like, right? I'm not going to pander here. I'm going fried Oreos, pal. Fried Oreos are the absolute best thing at any fair. And little inside tip, I don't want to get this specific, but one of the stands that's at all the carnivals has a red velvet deep fried Oreo, and it might be the greatest thing to eat on this planet, and I will die on that hill.
That does sound yummy. I'm going to go with one that, I mean, it's so basic, but at a fair, it just sounds so good. A corn dog.
Yeah, that's
corn dog. It's very
I'm glad
easy to make, I guess, but they're so good at a fair. I wouldn't think anywhere else to get a corn dog but a fair.
Yeah, that's you're smart in not letting that one slip down to me here, because I would have taken that in a heartbeat.
And then with the wraparound, I will be taking funnel cake.
God damn it!
Funnel cake.
You were going to take that.
You can get some strawberries on there. Sometimes you can do some wild things with it, but funnel cake.
You totally threw off my strategy here.
You needed the fried Oreo.
I needed. I did. I'm okay with that. I can live with myself here. I will. So I get two here. Can I just take like three different variations of deep fried stuff?
Whatever you want to do.
All right. I'm gonna get wacky here. I'm going to go with a one I've had. It's been years now. I haven't seen it, but deep fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was actually an Uncrustable that they deep fried, and it was.
That does sound really good.
It was the greatest. I shouldn't say greatest because Oreos are the greatest, but the second greatest deep fried food that I've had. So my last one, my final pick, man, I'm like, it got my research pulled up here and I'm just getting so hungry. Fine, I'll do it. It's not funnel cake, but I like elephant ears. I think elephant ears are really good too.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same thing.
Sugar on those. Yeah, no, they're not. They're very different.
Okay. I will take pulled pork nachos for my last pick.
I had a feeling.
If you can find them, they're amazing.
Yeah. You
It's
can't go
always too
wrong.
much, but I'll take it.
How do you feel about let me run a couple by you, like kettle corn. You know, they always have the big
No,
metal drum.
nope. I like the lemon shake-ups.
Lemon shake. Oh, that was a big miss on our end there. That was a big one. Corn on the cob. I don't think
really
of that
want
as
to
a
be
fair
standing
food.
there. I really don't want to be standing there or sitting there at the fair eating a piece of corn.
Well, it shouldn't take you that long to eat.
What I mean is, like, if you get it from the fair, you're gonna have to eat. You're gonna have to eat outside. I think I like my sweet corn like sitting at a kitchen table.
Here's one that keeps coming up: bloomin' onion.
I'm not an onion guy.
Yeah, I'm not. I really am not a big like.
They have those at the fair.
Yeah, that's on like everything here.
It's gonna be like at like a Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll go up tomorrow. I'm pretty sure they sell them there. What are some other ones? Fried cheese curds, but I also think like that and like deep fried pickles, like that's all like appetizer food, right? Deep
Yeah,
fried mac and cheese. We had this heated debate the other day. What about like loaded French fries? Me and you are the complete opposite.
like the cheese.
Like chili cheese fries and stuff like that.
I wouldn't like chili on them. I'd like cheese.
As long as the cheese is on the side.
Either way.
Let us know. And also, I got to throw in, of course, ribbon fries. I love ribbon fries. These are called wiggle fries on here on this website, but
I think that's a better
shout
name.
out ribbon fries. Ribbon fries with a side of cheese. Maybe that's what I'm having for dinner tomorrow after I break my pizza fast.
Yeah, your body's not
We'll
gonna
see.
know what to do without pizza.
I know I may go into withdrawals. But thank you for joining us. That was episode 165 of Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our great sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Find us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like. Go to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago Fans, watch those videos for all of our content in video form. Make sure you subscribe there, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get them. Subscribe, rate, and review. Listen to us there. You can listen to us there and then go over to YouTube and watch the Team Builder to see what we missed out on. You can find me on Twitter at BoomingTCF and, of course, Zach at ZLilia. But we appreciate you guys hanging out for episode 165 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.